Hey everyone, in this SketchUp Blender video, I'm going to show you how to make semi-transparent surfaces like glass and windows in the Blender game engine. And we're going to be starting off in SketchUp. I apologize if you can hear my dog whining in the background. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to make a really simple building starting with the rectangle tool. Just going to drag out kind of a big box. I'll use the push-pull tool to give it some height. All right, now I'm going to make three simple windows here. I'm going to use the rectangle tool and drag out two rectangles. There we go. They are not the same size, that's fine. I'm going to take the selection tool and I'm going to select this face and hit delete. So now we have just an opening. The second one, I'm going to click on the paint bucket tool and paint. And then I'm going to come over here to materials. And if the materials panel doesn't open up, you can click on this fifth icon right over here and open up materials. I'm going to the category glass and mirrors because that makes sense. And then of all of these here, this fourth one looks pretty nice. You can see that it's kind of a bluish color, but you can still see through it. It's not an opening. You can also choose this one here. It's a little more turquoise, and then you can choose this one here, which is kind of like a frosted glass. These other ones here are, in my opinion, very ugly, and you can't see through them, so I'm not going to go with them. It really doesn't matter, though, because unfortunately, even if you do painted materials in SketchUp, it doesn't come over into Blender, and so we can't use it for the UV mapping and the game engine process, unfortunately. Okay. The next thing I want to show you is for the third window, I'm going to come over here on the right-hand side. I'm going to click on this fourth icon here. It looks like 3 cubes stacked on top, and these are called components. And you can actually search the Google warehouse, the 3D warehouse, and I'm going to type in window. Press return, and you're literally going to see now thousands of pages of windows that you want. So you can see down here 3,461, so there's a ton. And you can go through all these pages and you can choose whatever one you want. Now, I'm going to go ahead and try this one here. This one looks kind of cool. And when you first bring something in, you'll notice that it is attached to your mouse cursor. So if you look closely, you'll see that this one has two problems. It's the wrong scale, way too small, and it's also rotated in the wrong direction. So we're going to go ahead and fix those. So I'm going to left mouse click once, and that's going to then place it in my scene. And you can see it's all highlighted. And it is called a component. So all of those edges and faces, they're all grouped together as an object. All right, so let's zoom in on that using my scroll wheel and panning. There we go. So we need to scale this up and then we need to rotate it. So I'm going to scale it up first. So I'm going to come over here on the left and go to my move tool. And when you click and hold on the move tool, you see the other tools. We have rotate, we have scale. So I'm going to click on scale, and now you see these green dots. So now I'm going to click on this top right dot. And I'm just gonna zoom out, and all I'm doing is scrolling back my mouse wheel so I can zoom out and get it to about where I want. And I think it's about there. We'll see. That's approximate. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and rotate this. So go back over here, click on the rotate tool. So the rotate tool is 3 clicks. So what I'm going to do is, it does matter what direction you have this compass. Okay. And so I'm going to put this compass on the z-axis. That's the blue axis. And you can see the compass turned blue. And that's because I want to rotate this on the z-axis. So what I'm going to do is, once I get it to the blue axis, I'm going to do my first left mouse click on the left-hand corner here. So click. Then it wants to know with this dashed line, where's the other edge? So where's the other edge of the base? So I'm going to click on this right-hand side here, click, and now for my third click, I choose which way do I want it to go. And I want it to go over here, and when it snaps, I'm going to do my third mouse click, and there we go. The object is rotated. Okay, so now you might think that you can just go ahead and move this and bring it back in here, but if you do that, you won't actually be able to see through the glass pane. You actually have to cut a hole in the face. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to grab the good old rectangle tool, and I'm going to drag it out. Now notice that my rectangle here does not match the dimensions of this here. Okay, so I'm going to delete the face. Now, if I wanted this opening here to match this here, that would of course require some more work. However, for right now, I'm just going to make the window match the opening. Okay, so I'm going to select the window. I'm going to then come over here and I'm going to grab the move tool, and then I'm going to zoom in on here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the very front of the window. See that right there? Get that little dot right there on the front of the window frame, and I'm going to left mouse click, and that then grabs the window, and then I'm going to zoom and pan, and I'm going to get it right here, and it snaps right there to the edge of the opening. Okay, so now you'll notice that the height is off and the width is off. So that's where the scale tool comes in. So I'm going to go over here and grab the scale tool, and I'm just going to grab this top right hand corner, and I'm going to click and drag it and snap it. Thank you, SketchUp. And you can see that now it is fitting there. Okay, very good. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is let's have fun with the warehouse, and I'm going to come up here to the warehouse and I'm going to type in car. And these are all free. You can use these for all of your projects. They're really cool. And so if you don't have the time, or maybe you don't have the skills right now to model things, check out the Google 3D warehouse, and it's awesome. Bring it into SketchUp and then bring it into Blender. It's a lifesaver. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and choose this car right here. And the reason why I chose it is not because it's a Mercedes, but because it says you've selected a pretty big model. I'm going to say continue, and you'll see that it comes in, and I'm just going to place it right over here. And obviously it's not scaled up and it's floating in the air. I'm going to leave it floating in the air so we can take care of that in Blender. And you know what? I'm going to actually leave it really small. I could scale it up in SketchUp, but I want you guys to see what it looks like when I bring it over into Blender. So let's go ahead and let's name this. So instead of untitled, I'm going to click on the word untitled. I'm going to choose this SketchUp icon here. Excuse me. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this. And I'll save it as window demo. Sorry about that phone call there. And there we go. All right, so I'm going to make a part 2, and the part 2 will then bring this over from SketchUp into Blender, and we'll pick up there. See you.